Hello and welcome to the show. I am back on Forza Horizon 4 building another car to take on our rally stage. It is the much requested Ford Crown Vic. I've now got one. Yes, I got a Crown Vic. I got very lucky, found one in the auction house for 20,000 credits. I guess I just searched at exactly the right time to find one for sale. These cars can only be got through the wheel spins, and up until... well, I say up until now, I still haven't won one, technically, from a wheel spin. Yeah, I got lucky enough to find one at the auction house. So, I've now got a Crown Vic that we are going to take rallying. I'm going to be honest, I am not expecting it to be particularly fast. I think it's going to be too big and too heavy. It will potentially have a lot of power, though, which is good in everything. Power, we like having a lot of power in our cars, and we have shown a decent amount of power is quite needed for this rally stage. Certainly the American cars sitting at the top with many horsepowers have enjoyed their time. I have a feeling weight is going to be the hindrance on the Crown Vic. What I'm going to do, we're going to put all the handling bits on the car first. This is kind of the important stuff. Our rally stage is very technical, and while the power is excellent for getting through the thick sand, I think that's where these the American muscle cars that have gone so far have enjoyed, and where the Crown Vic will probably enjoy a little bit of performance as well. Simply being able to accelerate through the sand well. Need to get it to turn, and that's the tough part. That is the tough part. As fun as it would be to have the bull bars on the front, we actually want it to turn. So we're going to want aero, front and rear aero. But we will run, and especially because they are lighter, we will run with some police lights on the car, naturally. I know it looks silly with a wing, but we need the wing for downforce, so there we go. Now, the engines. What are we going to use? Our options are, I mean, that's never getting to the top of S1 class in a million years. Our options are 6.2 V8, 8.4 V10, 5.8 litre V8 supercharged, or the 6.5 V12. I am kind of leaning towards this because we haven't really used it before. I believe it's the Shelby GT500 engine, if I remember correctly. That, is a good engine. That's a fairly good engine. That's a very good engine. This, I believe, will still pass the 1,000 horsepower mark, and is something we haven't played around with all that much. So that's what we're going to have a go with. Weight-wise, I mean, we're at 3,600 pounds. We'll get it a little bit lighter with all of this kind of bump throwing on. Actually, PI-wise, I would use this engine. We might have to go for a V12 with the twin turbos. I mean, like PI-wise, I say PI-wise, we are up to how much power? 1,001. That turbo's not that great, actually. 1,001 horsepower, and we are actually not all that close to the top. Can we even get to the top of S1 class with... I mean, the V8, the V12 will be our most powerful option here. It is a little heavier, not by all that much, but it is, the most powerful option I have got. And considering the PI gains we're kind of getting... okay, we should get to the top with this, at least. Two V12 American cars just to annoy everybody in a row. Oh, you're going to be a stupid engine. Oh, I hate it when you do this. I'm kind of surprised, actually, because it used to be the case you couldn't even get the Crown Vic to the top of S1 class before. This, surprisingly, will do it with the V12. I was hoping to get 1,500 out of it. I was hoping to go 1,500 and be done with it with a V12. The problem is, that's not going to happen here. I'll go back to the V8. Screw it. It's not all that much lighter, but it's not actually all that much lighter. However, yeah, we'll just max out this one. We'll try something. We'll try something different with this. I'm annoyed I can't go for the full crazy. I wanted the full crazy power, and it's always a sad day when you can't go for the full crazy power. Instead, we're just gonna go for 1,000 and a bit twin turbo. I say twin turbo, actually. Well, this is supposed to be a supercharged engine from standard. I'm fairly confident the supercharger is not all that great on it. So yeah, we're going to get 1,041 horsepower from the V8, near enough 900 torque. I think it's too heavy. However, it might surprise us. So, here we are on the start line with the Crown Vic. I am going to have 3 runs through this rally stage to try and beat the time set by another Ford. The Mustang Boss, a 156.7 is the overall target. I think I'm more aiming with this car just to go sub 2 minutes around here. I would be very surprised to see this run to the very top of the top of the table. I could be wrong. We've been wrong about cars in the past. I don't think we're going to have the grip to be able to throw it around these corners well enough. We should have more than enough power to get out of them, but yeah, it's here, these sort of bits, where we are likely to struggle. It's a very sideways crowding through that part. Perhaps we're going to want second gear. Oh, very wide through. Very wide on the way in. Sort of get away with it a little bit in terms of a decent exit out of that. Oh god, we're not the best at slowing down. Well, I will also say, before doing this, I realised I'd forgotten to put the clutch and the drive line and the gearbox on. So I have since gone and done that. Don't worry, the car has been fully upgraded in all of those. In all of those areas, it doesn't really cost any PI as such. It's just worthwhile thing to put on the cars. We're gonna try and make that turn up there. Get close to the fence again. It's the change direction here. It's struggling. This is kind of predictable in terms of where it's going to struggle. It's predictably struggling with the tight twisty sections. It's actually not as fast accelerating down that back stretch as I would have liked. Nowhere near as fast actually as I would have liked down there. We barely cracked 100 miles an hour. We've seen up to 115 from some cars. So this has not got the acceleration you might want from it, and neither has it got the grip. That's generally bad. Oh, that's very wide as well up the top of the hill there. So we're going to have to be quite careful. We're going to have to be quite careful with this car just about everywhere as we will just about make our way through the sandy snake there, a little bit out of shape by the end of it. We can brush the fence on the exit there. What on earth are we going to do in terms of a lap time? The jump's pretty good. I'd expect the landing to not be too bad as we run towards the finish line. It's not... Oh, my God. Got out of control across the crest of the hill. It's not a good run, though. That's not a good run for the car. 2:04.0. There is definitely plenty of room for improvement there. Well, I am needing to find about 4 seconds to beat the target I set for myself. We are some 8 seconds down on the overall leader. As I said, the Crown Vic is predictably struggling in the areas I thought it would, in that we are having fun and games trying to get it through any twisty corners. We're sadly not as fast accelerating as I might have hoped. So yeah, we're going to have to drive well. I'm going to have to drive well, get everything right, make sure we get the car stopped for these hairpins. I guess focus on trying to get good exits. It's probably still where I'm going to be strongest, even if it isn't the fastest accelerating car we have run here. It's probably going to be better, it's probably going to be more comparable in terms of acceleration than it is in terms of corner grip. A good start to the lap, though. I'm pleased with that. A good start to the lap. Now, we were out wide here last time around. I'm going to try and take a neater line through all of that. We aren't too bad. I mean, tyre size isn't terrible on this. It's 275s all round. I think it's just the weight of the car. Even with full weight reduction, we are still well over 3,000 pounds. Yeah, 1,000 horsepower does make up for that to some extent. But when we've had cars with similar power and lighter, then yeah, that's the big difference around here. We're going to clonk the fence through that path as well. That's okay. We shouldn't lose too much time if we do brush the fences with this car. It's likely to swap the fences aside quite nice and easy. That was 102 miles an hour, so it's better to start around trying to get it down. That's a horrible corner. The more I've driven some of these turns, the more I realise just how nasty some of these corners are, trying to get it right with these more difficult cars. It's 97 miles an hour coming up the hill, but I've got to get early on the brakes because it doesn't really slow down. It doesn't really slow down all that well. Alright, feed it through this narrow section up towards our final hairpin. Now it's just the acceleration towards the jump. Hope that we can line it up neatly for the castle. Don't lose the back end while bouncing across the tarmac. It's amazing how bumpy that tarmac is. It's actually caused grief for a few cars. This time, no, we lose it on the landing. We just about got it all together again as we blast to the finish line. It's better. We got better. Still not going to be sub 2 minute. It is a 1:02.2. We knocked a couple of seconds off of the time, but yeah, I still need to find another couple of seconds with this car if I want to go for my target. It's not the easiest, that's for sure, getting around here. Well, this is it. The final run for the Crown Vic, and I've got more time to try and find than I would like. I'm not quite sure, in all honesty, where we're going to make up 2 seconds around this course. That last run was pretty good. Certainly through the first section, we were all pretty good, so I'm not sure where we are going to find it. Maybe a little scruffy later on, but the more technical the course gets, I think the more the Crown Vic struggles. We are not really able to struggling to get the front end turned in to a lot of these corners, and that's a problem. And even with a little bit of handbrake and so on, that's not really enough. Well, we can get it into the corner with a bit of handbrake and so on, but we're not carrying the speed that a lot of the very fast cars have been able to. It's kind of like a little tap on the handbrake almost to get the car in, but we've got to slow it down quite a lot to make sure we don't go either miles past the corner or have to go so very sideways we lose any forward momentum we have anyway. Through the car park we go. It's been neat and tidy so far. It's kind of been what I want from a run. Oh, that sort of corner there. That's big. It's a big time loss goes on when we're just fighting. It's always like you've got to wait to be able to get the car across to the left. We can kind of slide it up there quite nicely. It's well done for the Crown Vic. I just don't think it's particularly quick. We got to knock over some more fences. Also probably taking out the most fences of any car around this course. Come on, twin turbo V8, work your magic down what little straights we have here. Now our long left hand beach corner. We're going to wander a very long way out there. Now I'm going to try a similar tactic I got with the Puma-mobile. We're trying to almost straight line our way up here. It does work. You get a lot of speed. You've got to you can get a lot of speed up there. I think it's a good line to take. However, you've got to remember you are going a lot faster than you would have done previous times, so you've really got to get the brakes early, long before the car starts bumping around in the air. That is horrible. I just can't. You can't do anything. You've just got to sit and wait, or you've got to wait out that section before we can do anything with the car in terms of getting on the power. We've had some real trouble with this big landing. It doesn't really want to get straightened up there. It's really hating this tarmac sort of sprint. I don't know why it's so upset with the tarmac. 3 times out of 3, we've had a lot more issues once it started bouncing around on the tarmac, almost than it had out on the sand. We do go a little faster, and we lost a bit of time on that tarmac approach. It still wasn't going to be good. It still wasn't going to... I think probably the time we made on that beach corner, we then immediately lost, fighting the car frantically, trying to get it to sort itself out. I think I'm surprised. We've had cars that have had little issues on the tarmac, but this has had some big problems on the tarmac. It is... I mean, I'm sad to report, not fast for the Crown Vic. It's going to go into a 17th place. It beats the MGB, it beats the Auto Union Type D, the Bentley 8 litre. It does lose out to the Volvo 242, the Holden Sandman, the VW Type 2, the 205 T16, and so on. It's not got enough grip, basically. The long and the short of it is, it will not change direction well enough on that beach course, and it doesn't even have the acceleration I sort of hoped it might. It is heavier. I had hoped that the 1,000+ horsepower and so on would be good at getting this through the sand, but even with this sort of power, it's not enough. It is not enough to make up any time really in acceleration zones. So yeah, sadly, Crown Vic does not make for a particularly great rally car. That though is going to be it for today. As ever, if you have requests for vehicles you would like to see run in this series, please do leave them in the comment section below. The most liked request will be run next time out, provided it's a car that I have / can obtain and fits within the restrictions for this building. That though is going to be it for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.